'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Yeah, bullshit. Today's the first day of spring and it is a crisp 36 degrees outside. Like earlier this week, I think, what's today, Thursday? Yeah, no, it's Thursday. Monday and Tuesday was really nice. Like I was able to take like a nice walk. It was like 70 degrees, something like that. And then yesterday, nice, but super windy. And then by the end, it's like, nah, we're still in winter, asshole. It's gonna be cold. And now that winter is done, it's even colder than it's been all week. It's definitely a welcome back to Oklahoma. This is definitely Oklahoma weather. And while I don't, like being at 36 degrees, it is nice to be home. Hi, how are you? It's Thursday. It's March 20th, right? Yeah, it's 3/20/2025. And for the first time since January, I can do one of these here. It's a Thursday. I don't have to say it's a California Talk Thursday or a California Talk Thursday. It is a regular ass Car Talk Thursday. I'm here at the lake and it's cold, but it feels nice. The actual trip back was really nice and pleasant. I had two flights. I had one to Denver, which was about an hour and a half, and then from Denver to here is about an hour and a half with about an hour and a half layover. The first flight, I just wrote the entire way, and it was really nice. I had a great time. And then the second flight, I just read Twilight. It was really nice. I had a great time. I've got about 200 pages or so left, ish. So I'm hoping to get it done soon. I guess I'll go and just say the kind of my immediate itinerary of stuff I want to get done. Especially because I really, really, really want to play Kai. And now that I'm here, Clay can help me get it set up. But I've got a lot of shit to do. I have a lot of stuff to clear. Because I know when I start playing a Trails game, I'm going to do nothing but play a Trails game. So, I've got to clear my schedule. So, in terms of videos that I need to catch up on, aside from, of course, doing my weekly CTTs, my tier lists for 2024, which I know, we're in March, I'm still not fucking done with these. Yickety yikes. But I did one yesterday. So, yesterday I did the shows. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and do the Friendship is Magical and Odd Winter Wrap-Up Day. I don't know. That seems kind of right. So that's done. I have one left, and this is about 2024 movies. I don't know when I'm going to do that. I don't want to say, yeah, I'm going to do it today. Excuse me. I mean, it kind of just depends on what, my mood and my vibe is today, tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday, because I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard that we're going to go, watch the new Looney Tunes movie on Saturday, so we might do that. I've heard that we're going to go to a steakhouse on Saturday, so we might do that, or that might be next week. I've heard that we're going to do a triple feature of the first 3 Pokemon movies. I really, really want to do that. Because we've been talking about that for a while. It's we were going to do that when I got back. But I had other shit that I did. Because I got back Saturday night around midnight. So I was all right, I'm not doing anything now. I just need to sleep. And then Sunday, I'll put a pin in what I did Sunday, because I'll get to that when I talk about other videos. But I didn't have time, and then Monday night is when we had our steak, because Clay was all right, I'm going to get you a nice steak when you come back. And my idea was, so when you have a nice big steak, and sometimes at a steakhouse, in a movie, there'll be a big thing of butter on top of the steak. So in my brain, I'm thinking, I want to do that. And as much as I love me a big glob of butter, what if instead it was just a big fat scoop of ice cream? Just pop some cookie dough ice cream on top of a steak. And if you think that sounds nasty and just fucking weird, you're right that it was fucking weird, but it was delicious. It's I want to give this a try, because you know what? I had a really miserable 8 weeks. Not to say it was all bad. Not to say that I didn't get some, I got some good experience. I was able to get good work done. I was also able to get some personal stuff done and able to get some important clarity in my personal, et cetera, et cetera. clarity isn't, what was it? It's like, clarity isn't always hard, but it's always important, you know? But at the same time, it was a really fucking miserable, 8 weeks. I just want to eat a nice fat steak and have a big old glob of ice cream on top. And you know what? As the cookie dough ice cream is melting onto the steak and it's marbleizing and the ice cream is melting with the steak juice. I'm taking some mashed potatoes because of course I'm going to eat this shit barehanded. I want to enjoy myself. I want to return to monk. And I'm dipping the mashed potatoes in the steak juice and ice cream. Nah, this is really good. Anyways, that was Monday, and we were considering doing the Pokemon movies on that day. I'm yeah, this is gonna be about 4.5 hours, and right now it's 7:30. We could feasibly do it, but we're both off on Saturday. That's probably the best day. So I'm all right, that's what I'm gonna do Saturday. Wait, but I really want to get a video, this last tier list video done on Saturday. Oh, but I also want to read Twilight on Saturday. I just have a day where I say I'm going to knock this out. Oh, but we're going to go to a steakhouse on Saturday. Oh, but we're also going to watch Looney Tunes. What the fuck am I doing on Saturday? I have no idea at this point. But we'll go as we go. We'll see what the hell happens. But anyways, that was all just about I have 2 tier list videos, and now that's down to 1 tier list video. I also have a Paper Mario video to do because I do want to talk about Thousand Year Door. I've been sitting on this for a while, partway through February, just haven't gotten around to it yet. On top of that, taking the pin out for what I did on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. I watched Char's Counterattack because it was in theaters. So we went to the Warren, this really nice theater in Broken Arrow, and fucking watched Char's Counterattack. Because I still haven't watched Double Zeta, but my 2 friends that I went with assured me you really don't have to watch Double Zeta to watch CCA. You should still watch Double Zeta, especially if you want to do other UC stuff like Victory Gundam. But it's, from what I understand, Char and Amuro are just not in Double Zeta, or if they are, it's very, very minor. So their story is not affected by Double Zeta. The events of that show don't have a huge impact. The only thing that I noticed, because from what I understand, Haman Khan is the main antagonist of Double Zeta, and she's notably not in CCA. I'm I can kind of put 2 and 2 together and figure that out. It's she's either dead or she's in prison, and this is Gundam. I don't know how often you'll really take prisoners, because I know what happens when you take prisoners. They just escape and go back to their side. Shout out to Emma, who every time she got captured just fucking went back to Patmos. But aside from that, it doesn't sound like it's very spoilery. And Char's decision to fucking nuke the Earth with an asteroid. It's well, he didn't reach that conclusion explicitly in Zeta, and apparently he doesn't reach it in Double Zeta either. Alright, and Kess and the other new characters, they're just completely new characters. So I watched it. And I do want to do a video on CCA. I probably won't wait until I watch Double Zeta. I just kind of, I've got some other stuff I'm working on at the moment. And also, I kind of want time to think about it. So go and just say right now, I watched it and was I don't know if I like this movie. It looks incredible. It has nothing to do with the production value. I'm what do I think of these new characters? Because I like the idea. One of the thoughts I had watching it was, if this was a whole show, even if it was just one core, maybe it didn't need to be a whole 50 episodes, but to really try to flesh out some of these relationships a bit more, I think I'd like it. I'd be a lot more invested. But I feel we've just kind of fast forward, with Kess in particular, it's we kind of fast forwarded in all her relationships, with Hathaway, and then falling for Char, and the rejection by Amado, and I don't remember the name of the other guy. It's Nguyen or some shit. I really don't remember his name. But the guy that almost looks like Hijikata from Gintama, it's that one was kind of fast forwarded, and I don't I don't know, but I was talking to my friends afterwards. They're like, yeah, well, she's a new type, and she's a very sensitive new type. And that's kind of why she feels emotions as quickly as she does and as strongly as she does. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, I think I can buy that. That does actually kind of make some sense. I'm like, I don't want to pretend that Char Aznavour or Lieutenant Quattro is a good person. But I don't know. This doesn't feel like the dude I saw at the end of Zeta. Like, I could almost kind of see it, but I'm not sure. And then from talking to them about it, it's like, well, I think it was N7 who had said, to me, Zeta feels like Char trying to do things the quote-unquote right way and realizing this doesn't work. Like, look how far it got us. And I can kind of see it. It's like, yeah, they were able to defeat the Titans. The Titans were still able to commit a lot of war crimes before that happened. And yeah, look what saving the fucking world did for Camille. Like, I can kind of see that. Maybe this works a little better than I think it does. And what was really interesting, both of them had said they liked the movie the first time they saw it, and rewatching it, as they both kind of said, it's knowing what was going to happen. It's like, no, like, basically taking the movie on its face made me like it a lot more. And I'm kind of wondering if I'll have the same experience. So what I might do, I know even though I just watched it, I might rewatch it. I might wait for after Zeta, or excuse me, Double Zeta, we'll see. But I'm really thinking maybe I should just rewatch it and kind of keep those ideas in mind. Especially because I really did not know what the fuck happened in this movie. I had no idea how it ended. And yeah, just being like, I know I probably don't need to know who the fuck these people are, but I feel like I'm missing so much shit. I'm like, okay, just keep it in mind. New types are fucking weird. That's how this shit works. That's how this shit works. Okay. And we'll kind of see where we go from there. But I do, so tier list videos, Paper Mario video, CCA video, which might require another rewatch. Want to binge the first 3 Pokemon movies, which we want to do those specifically because we had them on VHS. It just seems kind of nice. I want to finish reading Twilight. Like I said, I got about 200 pages left. And then there will be a video, more than likely, a video to do on that. And then, well, and then at that point, I just want to go and watch Double Zeta, because remember I was supposed to do that the second half of January, but then Plex was down, so I couldn't fucking watch Double Zeta. And then throughout February, I'm like, I don't know, I have like no energy to do anything. I don't want to watch Gundam. That's nothing on Gundam. That's just not in a good headspace right now. So I'm super behind on watching shit, and I still haven't fucking played Metaphor, and Clay's been playing P4. I'm like, I really want to play P4. I want to play some Persona. Well, I've got Metaphor, which is basically Persona. I still have to start it, but I gotta play There's a lot going on. But I feel like at the very least, can I get these videos done? Can I get Twilight done? And then can I watch Double Zeta? And when all that's taken care of, and even with Double Zeta, if I could just say, like, all right, this is my time in the morning to play it. In the afternoon, I'm playing Kai. Or, like, to watch it, now playing Kai. That might work. But I also have a lot of writing I want to do. Because I have officially started my reworking and, like, rewriting and editing of Oro into Isla. I did chapter 1, which is interesting because it's about the length of the original first chapter, but covers the events more or less of the second chapter and just skips the first chapter entirely because nothing really happens in that chapter and it's very skippable. I understand why I wrote it like that. It is very much like, I just want to spend as much time as possible early on with our main 2 characters to really establish their relationship, like what they're like as people, what they're like as a couple, because their relationship is very important. Like, yeah, that's essentially what the first few pages are about. Then it's like, okay, now we're about to start like going into the game. Still get a lot of time between the two of them and the way they're reacting to different things, just the way they shoot the shit with each other, blah, blah, blah. Also, here is kind of the basic orientation for both the game and how it's going to work and the technology and how it works. And it is very much an orientation. Like, the characters show up, are told a bunch of shit, and then they get to go in. And there's the part of me that has always been, I know that's very talky, and I write a lot of dialogue. Like, my stuff is very talky. Even for me, this is very much, I'm just going to sit you down and tell you shit. And I don't love it, because it's a few pages of just that. And quite a bit of it is like, do you know how video games work? Yeah. Look, sorry, I'm going to pretend that you don't, just in case. It's a bit much. But on the other hand, there's that part of me that goes, well, there are people who genuinely have no idea how this shit works. Like, I had sent it to, like, a professor of mine who really likes my writing, which I really appreciate. And she was like, yeah, like, I have no idea what any of these terms mean. So, like, maybe I do need to really explain it and, like, spell it out just in case. But also, I'm like, well, this is something that I feel like the characters would attend, and it might be mandatory to attend. So having it explained to the characters and thus it's explained to the reader, like, it makes sense. I guess that's the thing. I've always been able to justify the decision, but I haven't always loved the decision. So in the original version, with that first chapter of just, here's Robin and Charlotte being Robin and Charlotte for a bit, and here's a second chapter of more of Robin and Charlotte being Robin and Charlotte, also long-ass orientation and explaining shit, you don't actually jump into the game and Robin making his character till about page 25 or so, ish. So here I said, what if I just skip those first few pages and I skip the orientation part? Like, it's still Robin and Charlotte getting to the place, and there's still a lot. I tried to write it in a way where you get a lot of who these two are as people and as a couple, just through their dialogue and how they, like, the things they say and the things they say to each other. But also, it's like, here's a few other characters to kind of keep an eye on. Here's some kind of basic shit you need to know. Setting up, like, an idea or two within about 9 pages, which means you're getting into the game a lot quicker, which I think is a good thing. And at least for me, maybe I'm biased, I don't feel like it's moving at, like, a super brisk, crazy pace. It's just, like, it feels like it's a bit brisk, but not to, like, an overwhelming degree. So that's good. And then in terms of Severance, I haven't touched it in, like, a week. Sometimes that just happens. But I did finish the dinner scene, which I think I'd already brought up, so that's good. One of our main characters got his last sprite finished. So we have two characters left that need sprites. One of them being the main character, so there's a good amount there. And the other one, she has a lot of sprites too, because she's a very expressive character. And, like, yeah, that's gonna be a bit. But we're also taking a short break. I guess we're taking a short severance from Severance. But we're taking a short break because like, we really like our artist. So Clay's like, I really want him to draw this character of mine from the game he's working on. I'm like, okay. I also have a character I really want him to draw because I have an idea for an orichalcum cover. And I'd really like to see TK draw this character, because to me, this is the character on the cover. So he'll do Elia first, then he'll do Isabella for me, then we will resume Severance. And I don't know when I will resume working. I think what I want to do in terms of writing is do the first, like, 3 or 4 chapters of Isla, because it's not a full arc, but it's, okay, that's a decent chunk. Then I want to go back to Severance for a bit, then kind of finish the first arc of Isla, which is another, like, few chapters. Like, it's a decent chunk. Go back to Severance, and just kind of do that. We'll see how that goes. I might do it where I'm like, look, I just finished chapter 1. let me do Severance for a bit, but I really want to go and do chapter 2, so I don't think that's going to happen. I might do it where it's like, this is an Isla day, this is an or this is a Severance day, or like every other week. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I need to get both of, like, I need to get Severance done, but I really want to get Isla, I guess to use a video game term, to get it rebooted. And then Orichalcum, I'm just kind of going to chill on Orichalcum for now. Like I had said, I entered it in a good few contests, which I'm not going to hear back from like anytime soon. But we'll just kind of, I guess, like keep an eye on that, see how that goes. Okay, back home, check. What the fuck? Oh, winter. I think that's what that says. I think I just want to talk about like winter wrap up day. Oh yeah, just fun fact, so Sunday we went to a place called Genghis Grill, which is like a Mongolian barbecue like buffet thing, which we really like going. I love going to Genghis, but every time I was trying to text my friends like, yo, we're going to Genghis, my phone would auto-correct it to Gengars, and I just like, that's funny, I want to write that down. Talk about charge counterattack, blah, 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 there. Yeah, Clay's played P4. I'm like, fuck, I want to play Persona again. Here's the only other thing to talk about. Yesterday was Survivor, and I actually got to watch an episode on Wednesday for the first time in 4 weeks. So I was saying last week, I was like, this was a cool tribal. I've never seen anything like this in particular. Like, this specific kind of instance was weird, and it was neat. I really want to see what's going to happen. But the problem I had with... sorry, I hope that's not super earwaxy. It wasn't, thank goodness. The thing I don't like is I don't like going on a journey and being forced to play. Because Survivor is all about agency. You have to be able to make your own choices. So it's like, well, like, look at Justin. Justin was forced to go on a journey. He did not choose to. At least I don't believe he volunteered. I could be wrong about that. He had to play the game and did not have a chance to say, no, I don't want to risk my vote. And it was a game of chance, not a game of skill. Meaning, there was literally nothing he could do. He was just screwed. Yes, he still had the agency to tell Cedric about what happened, and maybe that would have saved him. That part is on Justin. However, the circumstances that led to him losing his vote, he had literally no control over anything, and I think that's fucked up. I love the result. Not to say that I love Justin going home, but it's like the result of like the crazy tribal, super neat. But I feel like that's kind of bullshit. The reason I bring that up is because yesterday's tribal was phenomenal. This is the shit that I love. Like, all right, we just had a swap, and like, yeah, I love swaps. And I actually really like a lot of the tribe dynamics that we've gotten. This has already been going on for like 20 minutes, and I don't know if I want to do a separate video for Survivor. But just short version, Chrissy and Mitch on Siva are now still on Siva. Like, we have never worked together, but we'll stay Siva strong. Say and Cedric are also on new Siva, and Cedric's like, cool. Like, I'm friends with Mitch now. I've got my girl Say. I'm good. And then Say's like, I don't know, Cedric. You know, you kept me after trying to vote me out twice. And even the shit with Kevin, like, you stuck with me and you let me know. But you did it in a way where you were still looking out for yourself. I don't know how much I really trust you. And then Bianca's there in the middle going, cool, I have all the power because I'm in the middle of these two duos. Except I don't have a vote, so I'm kind of a sitting duck. So then you go on to new Loggy. Is it Loggy? Is it Toggy? I think it's Loggy. So the girl Ava is there, and Star is there. And like, cool, we don't like each other. Also, Star still doesn't have her idol, so she also doesn't have her vote. David from Siva is there and immediately becomes besties with Ava. Charity from Siva is there, and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm so glad that I'm here with David because God bless David, but David's kind of an idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. And David's like, Charity was on the bottom, dude. I want her gone. Like, Ava goes up to everyone else and is like, guys, I know she's on my same tribe, and you might not believe this, but can we get rid of Star? And then David goes up to Ava and is like, yo, can we get rid of Chair, actually? I want her gone, dude. He's like, yeah, like, I'm surrounded by women. I'm always surrounded by women. You're like, I've got sisters. You know, this is normal for me. This is great. And you get a lot of confessionals where people are just like, yeah, David's so nice. David's so cool. And Mary's like, David, can you be my sister? This is great. I'm like, we're getting a lot of content about just how fucking lovable David is. I don't know. Like, there's a part of my brain that goes, okay, David might be a way bigger character than I thought. Because we got something like this, I think, in the last episode. Like, okay, David might win. I know Ava's still my pick. At this point now, I would not be surprised if David goes on a long run. Because I also did notice, like, when Ava and Joe split up because of the tribe swap, we heard a lot about it from Ava's perspective, not as much from Joe's, and then Ava immediately makes a new best friend, who also seems like a really, like, major character in their own way, like, this might be, like, the main duo, or it might be a main trio when we get Joe back. I don't know, we'll see. And then Mary's also there, and she's like, I'm just happy to not be on green, guys. This is great. And then you have New Vula. So New Green, where you've got our California girls, you got Joe, you got Shaheen, you got Thomas, and then you've got Kyle and Camilla from Siva. They're like, hey, we've got our main trio. And then Thomas is like, I don't got Bianca, but I got my trio. And Joe's like, I don't got Ava, but I got my trio. And Shaheen's like, I got my boys. I got my California girls. And then Kyle and Camilla are like, oh, thank God I'm here with my number one. This, like, this could be worse. Like, this could be better because we're down 3-2. But we do have an idol. And if we play this right, we can get through this. So they make this declaration that we're going to fucking win. We're going to get Green our first win, and then Green loses. So they go to Tribal. So Camilla is throwing Thomas under the bus, being like, hey, you know, he said he didn't get anything on a journey, but he said he walked away. You literally can't do that on these journeys. What the fuck is he talking about? Trying to sow some distrust, and Tom's like, cool, I want her gone now because she's throwing my name out. Like, girl, I know I lied to my team. You're not allowed to tell them that I lied. That's fucked up. And Camilla does a really good job of throwing Kyle and Siva under the bus. I mean, like, no, like, I'm on the bottom. No one talks strategy with me. Kyle's never talked strategy with me, blah, 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 blah. And then Kyle immediately realizes what she's doing and is like, and is just trying to downplay her downplay. Like, no, you know, it's not that we never talk strategy. No, you were never on the bottom. And no, Anna, dude, what are you talking about? We're my number one. It's okay. She's making it seem like we are super distant and not that close, which means they'll be a lot more willing to keep her over me, which means I can play my idol, get rid of whoever we want, and then the numbers are 2-2 and we're still tight. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then, it was so good. Like, I really loved the social gameplay going on here. And yes, we have advantages because it all comes down to an idol. But I also liked that it's not a bunch of crazy trinkets going on. It's not, like, yes, they had an extra vote. And then, you know, Thomas has a steal a vote. None of that shit really came into play. It was just, it's 3-2, and the two have an idol. Are they gonna put the votes on the person we want them to put the votes on? Because we got a 50-50 chance of getting this right. I loved that. And yeah, they put the votes on Kyle. Kyle plays the idol for himself. And then you've got our three California girls in the back, just like, you know, holding hands, clasping shoulders, like, all right, I guess that means it's one of us. And when the vote came in for Thomas, you see how shocked and heartbroken Shaheen is for Thomas. And Thomas is just like, yeah, all right. And then afterwards, you know, he gets voted out. And he just kind of stands there for a second. Well, you guys gonna give me a hug? Like, it was honestly just, like, really sweet. Like, this was a great episode. Like, I love a good swap. And, like, I love a good swap. I love a tribal where you can really see the emotions and the strategy going on. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy advantage shenanigans, but I love it when it's not crazy. It's just an idol or lack of an idol. Like, Operation Italy was all about a fake idol and splitting votes, not a whole bunch of random bullshit. This was all about, this one was all about, yeah, do we play the idol on the right person? If I'm remembering David versus Goliath right, I'm remembering the minority split vote and how fucking crazy that was. That was idol based. But I think the only other thing that come up was the idol nullifier. Which, okay, that's an extra trinket, but fuck, that shit was so cool the way it happened. No, was there a steal a vote too? Because I think that's right. Like, that had a lot of trinkets going on. But fuck if it wasn't awesome to watch. No disrespect to Dan. I liked Dan a lot. Like, I think I had said this in my tier list yesterday. I was talking about 46 in particular. How 46 is a season where I would just want to see the same cast play again. David vs. Goliath is another season like that for sure. Anyways, that's my video. That's CTT. Survivor was great. Have a lot of shit to do and catch up on. But man, it's really fucking nice to be home.